This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Crude Trading Frank. It's approximately 8:36 p.m. Fashionably late, as we call in New York. We're supposed to start at 8 p.m. It is June 19th, 2019. My birthday is going to be in a couple of days. I'm going to be an old man. I never consider myself an old man. And I won't let you guys know when my birthday is, but it's in about a week. So on that
Happy
note,
birthday to you.
thank you. On that note, let us begin. This is a Crude Trading strategic webinar for both amateur and advanced traders. We have my good friend Kate, who just joined from Florida. Hi, Kate. And full disclosure, this is purely for financial education and not for solicitation or advice. Obviously, I'm not your broker. The session will be recorded, uploaded to the Google YouTube channel, which is an enormous resource for anyone out there who needs to learn a little bit about the markets. More importantly, need to make money about the markets. And the Google YouTube channel is not recommended, mandatory for all traders and members. And every one of these videos have been, I would say, a good 70 to 80% of the videos have been right on the dot, which simply means if you're hungry to make some money, not to be a jerk, but to pay your bills, take care of your family, and do the right thing, make yourself proud, then these videos are worth every single cent. Right there. Right there. All the way back. Every event in the market is recorded in history on these videos. That itself is an accomplishment. You guys should all know that. So, all right, let's move on. So, what's going on? I have no idea. Well, we know we're making money. Couple of things I want to say about the market. The market's going high. I criticize President Trump. I'm a New Yorker. I have a right to do it. Anyone who's from the Midwest or California or out down south, you guys have no right. I live next to him. I know his CFO. I do. And despite the differences that I have on certain issues and this and that, the fact is, for overall business and overall strategy on what's going on, I'm in agreement. Do I like the way he does things? No, of course I don't. Too brash, too impulsive, but at the same time, it's not President Trump who's doing all this stuff. It's the people around him, the people we have faith in. Treasury Secretary Mnuchin, the tariff negotiator Lighthouser, Larry Kudlow. Now, these are heavy-duty stuff that I know most of you don't care about. My wife and my son don't care about it. They just want to know, are we making money? Are we doing things? And that's what all you traders should be all about. Let Frank talk about all the garbage, about what's happening, macroeconomics, U.S. politics, Trump game theory, tweets, and all that stuff. Let's just make the money. Well, I have news for you. Every single day, I'm producing trades that are making money. So here's the market. Forget the market. Here is Alta Beauty. Let's get down to the facts of what's going on. Told you guys to buy it around 1, closed at 240. That's 140% on your money. I don't care how much money you put in there. Whether you want to put in $100 or $1,000, $100 would be 100 or $234, and $1,000 would be $2,400. End of story. Listen, I don't need to make excuses for the hard work that I do. Actually, I don't make excuses because I did a fatal mistake today. I did not buy Shopify. I was looking at that frigging thing at $3.30 on the option calls. They went to almost 15. Let's talk about what we did. So here's Allergan. Do I give a shit about Allergan? No. Botox? I don't need Botox. I eat healthy food. I'm 50 plus years old. I look pretty damn good. Will I need Botox? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm not on Tinder. But I look good. Just got to put my weight down a little bit. So Allergan was recommended at around $2.33. Goes to $4.50. That's frigging 100% on your money in one day. End of story. Guys, I want to be that big motivator. I don't want to be a motivator. You know, all these motivational things on Instagram and Tony Robbins and all these guys. The only guy I like is Larry Wingate. He's like, kick your ass, do the right thing. He's a big cowboy from Texas. Like that. Larry Wingate. Listen to him sometime. All right? We are not in the motivation business. We're in the action-making options trading business. We show you options trade. We show you what the markets are going to do. I'm telling you the markets are going to go higher. I told you that 3 weeks ago. I told you that 2 weeks ago. I told you that 1 week ago. Now, how you manage your money, you got to do it on your own. I guide you as much as possible. I can't change your diapers every 10 minutes. You want to learn how to trade management? Sign up for the advanced coaching sessions. Talk to me. Take the complimentary sessions that I offer. Take the weekend webinars that I offered for people. Only 3 people showed up there. Just shows the apathy in the market. You know what the great thing about apathy and despair and I don't give a shit what happens because I suck kind of mentality? The markets will go higher. That's serious. I had 3 people who showed up. That's great. I spend my first, not my first. I spent the time and energy say, listen, it's a free or a discounted training session, and the people who showed up, I bet your butt they made a lot of money. Look at these returns. Is this the only thing that I can show you? I can show you option charts after option chart after option charts, one after another, whether it's 30%, 40%, 50%, 200%, it doesn't matter. I can give, I'm literally giving away free money. Am I making money, huge money on every single trade? No. But am I making the meat out of the bit, taking the meat out of the whole trade? Yes. Do I get scared sometimes? Yes. Do I ever panic? No. I have never panicked in my life. I didn't come from a frigging trust fund. I worked my frigging way up from a great family. My parents were doctors. They didn't give me a BMW and a Porsche for my frigging graduation. I worked my way up from Wall Street all the way up, parking my boss's car in the fish market in New York City, Wall Street, back in 1996, 1997, to being a top-notch guy, and then finally leaving on my own in 2010, 2011. And my paychecks that I write are worth it. Every stress, everything that I take is not for other people's misery. And in the meantime, I'm trying to help all of you guys and gals. So wake up and frigging listen what I'm saying. All right? You're talking to a real person, not some garbage, showing on Instagram. like I told my good friend Jill, Dubai and Monaco, and I've been to every one of those freaking places, okay? And the Lamborghinis and the Porsches and the Koenigseggs and the Bugattis. Cars that my son knows very well. We have some nice cars too. Not those. Okay? And they have a great auto design business. At 20, he's going to be making more than 6 figures by the time he gets done by this year. All because hard work. Goes to school, does his internship, comes back home, works till 2 a.m. in the morning, earns every single penny that he does. That is America. I might sound a little bit hypered up tonight, but I'm really a little bit tired and sick of people complaining about, oh my God, what's going on? What's going on? I'm walking you all freaking guys through it. All you have to do is act. Believe in what is going on. Believe in the charts. I know there's a lot of volatility. Lots of tweets coming out of our president, who is actually, honestly speaking, doing the right thing. But he's a freak. Of course Donald Trump is a freak. I know his CFO. I knew how much money we raised back on my old firm, back in 1998, 2000, for his failed casinos. I am the living example of knowing what Donald is all about. But in the meantime, I think he's going to do the right thing with the China deal, because we both need it. We are fucked. Excuse me. Oops, I said that word. We are effed if we don't cut a deal. Both countries. China more, us less. And you guys won't like it. All right. So let's move on. Broader picture, we have the Federal Reserve meeting out of the way. I have the joy of saying that my good friend, I wish he was a friend, but I do respect him. I know him because I actually did attend a seminar on Wall Street with Jerome Powell at that time, just a governor years ago. He's a good man. He's a patriot. I don't like President Trump pissing on him. He's a good man. He's a patriot. He's an economic patriot. He's not a political junkie. He's doing the right thing. What he did today was amazing, not just for the United States, but for the global debt market. Remember, the rest of the world borrows money in US dollars. We are the king. So if you're borrowing in US dollars and US dollar keeps on going higher, which, by the way, the US dollar fell today, which means they have less debt service, they have to pay less to pay back the interest, is a good thing. That's why the global markets are higher. US futures right now are up about 7 to 8 points. Means nothing. It's how the global markets react. Now, lots of the macroeconomic stuff, I'm not going to spend half my night explaining to you all. Just scroll down my videos, try to find that stuff. Want to learn more about it? Sign up for the advanced coaching sessions, and I will spend my time and energy on the early weekends, sometimes late in the weekdays, to explain all that to you. You don't know how to understand the whole thing? You will screw up on your trade management and all that garbage that you hear from the fake media and the real media. I'm not about this fake media garbage, but honestly, the Fox Financial Network, CNBC, Bloomberg's the best, by the way. They're always highlighting the negative because misery sells. You all know that. Misery sells. I'm not in the business of selling misery. I'm in the business of selling hope. Every man wakes up, or a man or woman wakes up with one dream, that tomorrow is going to be better. And honestly, if you follow my freaking charts, tomorrow is going to be better. So let's start. Look at this chart. Does it look like it's going to go down? I don't think so. I show it every day. This is your 15-minute. My phone's ringing. Junk phone call? Hold on. Caller block. That's the beauty about having fancy phones where the caller gets blocked when somebody calls. Thank God you guys don't call. All right. Let's move this up. Just be visual. Don't worry about technical. Just be visual about this whole session. All right? This looks damn good. Let's look at the next one. This is what is happening right now on the futures. Up 8. I told you guys we're going to break out of the range. It did. We are out of a range. Simple math. What's the range thing? I know Mike's going to answer straight out. 29.36. Nope. Change the color. Okay. 29.36. 29.19. So what are we talking about? 20 points? 19 points? Oops, hold on. Remember, keep it simple, stupid principle, KIS. All those gurus on stock tweets and Instagram, like, oh, this and that. Come on, guys, keep it simple. We're talking 20 points. It's actually 19, but 20. Okay? 20 points. Add 20 to 29.36. And we get towards 29.60. That's exactly what the charts are pointing. That's a lot of money. I mean, come on. I gave you guys calls to buy during the day. Looking at one of my other 14 screens. 292 calls. I know I had the 293. We had the 292s too. They went from 144 to 228. That's $1.44 to 228. What's the math? I'll tell you. That's 58% on your money. When was the frigging time you made 58% of the money? I know you got a lot of friends telling you, oh, let's flip this house. We're going to make like 40% on it. Yeah, till you get the mortgage and the origination fees and all that crap. I can convince my real estate guys to do 58% in 3 hours. And that is where the beauty about trading lies. Okay? This small move alone was 58%. When was the last time you, actually most of you probably haven't flipped the house, so you don't know that 58%, I just saw it in the show. You can't convince somebody who's not a believer, doesn't understand. You don't have to hold inventory. You just have to put the cash in and out. And I'll tell you why it's difficult. I can't even convince my wife. She loves what I do, but I can't convince her to put her real money into trading 58% in 4 hours. So I know how difficult it is. But given the fact that you guys are all, guys and gals, are all independent traders, just do it on your own. This is a beautiful chart. We are going towards 29.52, 29.60, which simply means we're going to be up another 100 to 150 points on the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Now, you can sit and watch, sure, because 90% of retail emotional traders, RET traders, are nothing but spectators. In order to be a non-spectator, you have to feel the pain. You have to feel the pain of these pullbacks. You have to feel the joy of these moves. You can't freak out on this little move down, and you have to relish the joy as it's moving higher. Now, if you can understand that part, do not be an options trader. Do not be an investor in our glorious United States financial markets, coming from a real patriot, not the little tiny flag waving guys like, "Ooh, make America great," that type of stuff. You're talking to a guy who has helped many, many people make a lot of money and truly believes in the beauty and the strength of the United States of America. Brains over bronze. My slogan, as you always know, and other people know, is make America smart again. Once we get smarter again, we'll beat the crap out of everybody out there. Not timing the raising the small flag and screaming and shouting. Okay? You want to be smart? Talk to people like Mike H. and his kids. Real smart. Brains over bronze. And people who fight for our armed forces. Okay, I don't want to get into that stuff. All right, so we're going higher. Simple. Next topic. This is another 15-minute chart. We traded this beautifully. Look at this. You just have to be a visual trader. Can't freak out. I put out the lines, red lines, like if it goes below that, get the hell out of your position. Doesn't matter what loss it is. It stays on those lines, buy more. Let's look at the weekly. I'm sorry, another 15-minute, the head and shoulder. This is for technical traders. Left shoulder, right shoulder, the head. The head was taken out big time yesterday. Once the head and shoulder pattern is broken, markets are going higher. Higher. Just keep it in your head. It's going higher. And now, so you scroll down. And by the way, anyone who wants to set up these charts on investing.com, reach out to me for free. I'll tell you how to set these charts up. I'm not a master of the game. I just know how to pinpoint points where I can draw the lines. God help us if we go to 2980. That's like way above. But we're in that zone almost, right? Come on. And so all of you are just, some of you are just sitting there like, oh, where can I buy? You should have bought here. 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 The perfect moments come and go in our lives. You don't take it. You're being an idiot. You're being a moron. Like, I'm a moron a lot of the times too. You know why I'm a moron? Because I sell a little bit too early and leave a little bit to keep on moving forward. God damn it, look at my trades out there. 300-400%. So I tend to be too disciplined. That's my problem. The problem with a lot of you you two are too frigging scared. Come on. I'm trying to help you guys. Go out and tell the world, stop being scared. Fear and being terrified didn't build a glorious nation. I'm dead serious. The guys in Silicon Valley who run our lives, who we love, the Googles, the Facebooks. I don't even do Facebook. Instagram. I do Instagram. The whole internet was built by solid Americans and a lot of very smart immigrants. Like President Trump likes to say, we need more brains than just regular people rushing our borders because they have a problem back in their own country. You cannot just walk away from risk. Options trading and investing is about risk. It's called quantifiable risk. Look at this. And those idiots, lots of idiots, like a lot of my old friends on Wall Street, they're all so frigging negative. We have $6.7 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines thanks to the bad negativity of the analysts and mom and pop so shit scared of volatility. We don't care. We trade volatility. Every single day, I show you the VIX chart. I show you what the markets can do. I want all of you to step up and do the right thing. The markets are always going to be volatile. The VIX is going to go to 15, 20, and now it's crashing towards the chart that I showed you all, towards 13. For God's sakes, just look at my charts. The problem with my service is I'm a little too intellectual about things. I'm a little bit too forward thinking. If I was too shallow, and like I said to Joe, I showed my cars, I showed my Instagram, I showed my freaking Rolex watches and Patek Philippe's and all that garbage. People are like, oh wow, look at that. He's like a bloody. I showed my face, I'm pretty okay looking. Showed my wife, forget it. That's not the garbage that I do. I'm about just showing how people can take advantage of the great policies instituted by the Trump administration. And don't mind me, I criticize them a lot too. Okay? At the same time, and all the other things that's going on. Let's get back to technicals. So this zone is very dangerous for trading, for short dogmatic bears. Is it going to happen? I have no freaking clue. All I know is that it is almost getting in there. We are almost. That's why I love charts. It shows me pictures beyond what I can imagine. We are in that zone right now with futures up 9 points. We're in that, excuse my French if I can say it, F the bears, fuck the bear zone. Will that happen? I took 30 points from here. Sure, it can happen. That's 30 handles on the E-minis. That is up. That's 200 points on the Dow Jones Industrial Average or more. Certainly can happen. President Trump did the smart thing. I always criticize him when he was doing something wrong. I will commend him 110%. That phone call to Premier Xi, who is a tough nut. Remember, China cannot be an enemy forever. Economic enemy, I'm talking about. Okay, economic enemy. Because as Americans, we don't hate people. We love people. From an economic standpoint, they are going to cut a deal. Otherwise, China is screwed, and we are going to be badly hurt. I've said that from day one. If you don't believe that from a bullish standpoint, keep on listening to your garbage demons in your head, other services you listen to. Oh, markets are going to crash and we're going to go into a recession, blah, 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 blah. Well, that's your problem, not mine. I will remain bullish as long as the economic, macroeconomic policies are is a plus, and my charts tell me everything is okay. My charts are telling me everything so far is okay. So this move here is good for 200 points, and I've shown you guys repeated huge move. That was a 500 point move, and you guys don't want to do it. That's I'm not going to say. The reason I sometimes get a little bit pissed off is because I truly care about all my members. I get pissed off at myself for letting go of trades earlier. That's my problem. The problem with most of you are you never get into the trades. Okay? So let's adjust this line. Each one of these lines are worth your money. Wow. It's a parallel line. Beautiful. Can we get to beyond the highs at 2980 based on my charts? We're in that zone. Trading is hard. It's hard to hold on to something when the market's going down 50, 60 points during the day. If you keep on looking at these charts, that's how it keeps you in the game. Let's look at some longer term picture. That is your 1 hour. It's now broken out. These are when those 40-cent $1 calls go to 3 or 4. You've seen that happen how many times? We're beautifully into that next zone. Like I said, we're going to 29.51. The highs on the market are 29.61. That means you're going to make 200% on your money. And so far as I can see, if you bought those calls, the 293, 294 SPY June 21 call, you're going to wake up tomorrow morning, as far as it's looking, unless there's another crazy tweet out of Donald or some crazy comment out of China. We're going to open up here. That means you can sell it at a good 80 to 100% plus on your money. I mean, come on. Okay, now let's look at a longer term picture. That's a 1 hour chart. Get this out of the way. I'll be taking some questions in about 10 minutes, so please have the notes ready and don't tell me you have no questions, because that means you're not even freaking trading. This is a beauty. This is a rising wedge. I've been showing you guys on this falling wedge crossover all the way from June 3rd. Holy cow. Anyone who held the calls all the way up, please DM me, direct message me, because I'm going to put my hat on and I'm just going to God bless you. Because I've been taking profits all along the way. I did think this was going to happen when the falling wedge break out, but I didn't put in that amount of money I should have to know that the markets would be up 2,000 points from here to here. I will never make that mistake again next time we drop 2,000 points, if it happens anytime soon. Remember, when the momentum takes over the market, you can hope for a 2,000 point drop. It's as difficult as hoping for a 800 point drop when things are happening like that. People, you have to understand, I'm teaching you the dynamics of the market that I've learned from years. Momentum in life, a body in motion remains in motion. Newton's law of motion. A body at rest. The law of inertia, a body at rest just sleeps, right? That's what's happening with most investors. And traders, they're all sleeping. Look at all of you. Are you guys doing anything that aggressive? No. When are you going to do something aggressive? Down here, where I told people to get aggressive, or are you going to do something aggressive up here? Well, you might get lucky. We might get a big move up to a 3,000 plus, but that's a high risk move. The low risk move was to get very aggressive at these levels. I've explained this so many times. We have not just first time we've had this correction. The most recent correction we had like this was back in March. Now, do I do it 100% of the way? No, I don't either. But I do it a good 70% of the way. What are you guys doing? Now, sometimes you're going to sit back at night and say, shit, I could have made $50,000 on a $5,000 trade. Or $5,000 on a $1,000 trade. But if you never ask yourself these questions, you never make it. Make the market. The market is giving us free money only if you know how to trade it off, let's say, trading charts. And I will say it off my charts. I'm tired of being humble and saying, oh, it's the market. No, it is my charts which structure the markets and do what it needs to do. Ask yourself that question tonight when you go to bed. Or else you don't give a shit about money because, you know, you're getting some big welfare check or you have a trust fund, or you're the son or daughter of a multimillionaire. I am not. I make my money. I write my own paycheck, I pay my own bills, and I work through the stress of every debt that I owe. That is America. Now, if you don't believe in that stuff, then don't freaking trade. Actually, do trade more, because you have a few money, just throw it in. You make more. Seriously, guys. No more excuses. We all are so full of excuses. I got tired of giving myself excuses years ago. Years ago. No more excuses. Just freaking do it. Every arrow is put in place, like where the market should break and where it's going to go up. Okay. What's the next chart? Holy shit. Look at this. Look at this. If you have a young child, not a teenager, they would love this chart. Ask them, honey, do you think this is going up or down? They say, mommy, daddy, this is going a lot higher. That's how you're going to think in your head. Now, what level is going higher to? I say we go higher till July 4th weekend. Buy the July 5 calls. Because the market never messes in front of a major event. July 4th is important to our country, isn't it? Look at this frigging candle. This thing was 500 points, right? We were in there. We're in there. Big money. $300 accounts went to 3,000. I can show it to you. $3,000 account went to 30,000 plus. And God helped me with my traders who had I actually have a few. $30,000 account, they made $300,000. I'm dead serious. Want to know who they are? Contact me. And with their permission, they'll show it to you. So fuck the excuses we all give ourselves. Honestly. Look at this candle. We are going to go to new highs. This was the previous high of the market. Stop listening to the US haters, the people who are the dogmatic bears. They're all like solid Midwestern guys, like, oh, the market's going down, blah, 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 blah. Yes, the market will go down on a certain day. The market will go down on a certain week. But look at the weekly charts of what's going on. Everybody is a self-loather. They all live in America. We all wave the flags. We all say we love our troops. Yet we do not want to buy a single American company when it's down in value. So ask yourself, are you really a true American? I don't think so. I think the test of a real American would be, in my book, one of the tests would be, do you buy American stocks? I don't think so. Because mom and pop, from here to the Midwest to Wisconsin to Boondock, wherever, all hate the stock market. Ooh, it can be too dangerous. So what are you being so freaking patriotic about? Patriotism is about economic fundamentalism. That means economic strength for the U.S. Not just waving flags and screaming and shouting about immigration. It's about believing in American business. Believe in U.S. business because they are good for our country. Doesn't matter how many times Donald screams about our great companies. It's U.S. business that built the United States of America. That's the reason the government has that much leverage to negotiate with China and every other country in the world. Because without American business, we are dead. They are the biggest employers of every single worker. I know. Most of you have known me. I believe that. Okay, U.S. business is not against U.S. With Donald attacking the Chamber of Commerce, it's like the stupidest thing I ever heard. But then he's done a lot of stupid things. I love his policies, Love what he's doing. But when he gets too like nutty against Jerome Powell, Federal Reserve Chairman, and the U.S. Business Chamber of Commerce, like what the F is going on? It doesn't matter. I know him for a long time. I know his CFO. Okay? I know his mindset. But he is looking for the good of America. But sometimes his approach is wrong. I'll be the first one to say it. On that note, look, it's going higher. We will get overbought in about 2 weeks before July 4th. And then we're going to take a nice tumble down. Why? I'll tell you the reasons when we get there. All right, let's look at a couple of options. Let's look at Allergan. Didn't know about it till yesterday. I know Allergan, the stock. So let's start. In the meantime, who wants to look at a stock? Anyone? Oh, did I scare everyone away?
Netflix.
Netflix. Okay, so let's get the stock up there. Netflix going higher. You know why? Because for the last 3 months, I actually found shows on Netflix. I'm like binge watching. You know what I'm binge watching on Netflix right now? Is Bad Blood, which I saw like months ago. Forgot about it. Anyone know about that?
Hey, Frank, your screen isn't showing. Oh, there it is. Never mind.
I'm sorry. Speak English. What did you say?
At first, your screen wasn't showing, but you're good. Thanks.
Okay, 1 second. So Netflix is a niche stock. Some days you're going to get some analyst downgrades. Some days you're going to get analyst upgrades. Overall, the stock is going to $400. Let me just get the thing. And that's the market, by the way. This is where we are. Even a child can tell you it's going higher. It's a rising wedge. That means we're going to get to a 29.60. And then at that point, we will most probably get a, oops, sorry. Who's that, House? Who asked me about Netflix?
That's House.
Hey, brother, how are you? Okay.
I'm good,
so,
man.
good. So at that point, we're going to get a little bit of a pullback. Why? Because the deviation from the 50-day moving average is going to be way too high. And those are things we're going to talk about on the next session on Sunday. But you guys should review my previous videos and know that when you move too far away from the highways, which are known as the 50 and the 34-day moving averages, let me get this line out of here, remove drawing, there you go, okay? Draw this. The further you move away from the 50 and the 34-day moving average, then you become overextended. Every time you get overextended, you get a pullback. But that overextension is probably not going to come till about 100 to 200 points on the Dow from here. Just letting you guys know. So Netflix, one of my favorite stocks. Okay, Netflix high, I've shown this chart many times, is $421. The stock is right here. At this point, it is trading in a constrained range. This range here, as a trader, is 367, 370. That's what we've been trading and doing very well on. Net, the most we can get up to Netflix is 380. At that point, sell programs will come in because they were the same institutions who got caught when the stock collapsed. Excuse me. We break above that, we are going to 410, 420. But that's too far for me to say, except that when I look at the internals, Netflix is a great trading stock. Great trading stock. And a great company. Not just because I'm watching some of the shows that I found on it, but seriously. This stochastics are telling us it's going higher. It doesn't get fully overbought till about 90 right there. That means on the front end, what matters to you and me is the stock I trade it in increments of $10 or $20. That's the way I do it because I am very agnostic about the market. Doesn't matter how bullish I am on the longer term. I am also very cognizant about the shorter term picture. So at this point, I'm looking at 367, 370, but the pattern dictates as a swing trader that this is what's going to happen. As long as the market cooperates, we don't get a China deal by next week, the market's going to drop 1,000 points. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Letting you guys know that. I'm going to walk you guys all through it, but that's the way it goes. Doesn't matter how much I like the economic team. Team, Mnuchin, Lighthouser. Trying to game Donald Trump's tweets and his emotions at 6 a.m. in the morning is a futile game. So what I love about Donald, he doesn't even friggin' drink. How come the tweets come out like that? Because he doesn't write it. One day I'll tell you who does. His name is Stephen Miller. I should know it because I met the guy a long time ago. Stephen Miller. Google him. He's the brains behind Trump. And he's the guy who actually writes the tweets. That's serious. Because Donald needs some sleep. Melania needs some sleep. He's not the one writing the wild tweets in the middle of the night or early in the morning. Stephen Miller. Don't like the guy, by the way. Okay. So there you go. So that's your trade on Netflix. You got to trade in increments of $5 or $10. I look at every one of these lines as a trading point. I'm looking at 380 at the max move. Could happen by Friday. Could happen by Friday. If not by, at that point, 386, by the way, is the max move. 380, 386. Something else happens, some major upgrade. We are looking at 400 to 410, but I can't go there. Next stock, please. Let me show you stocks that I like, which are coming off the bottom. I love Allergan. Big move coming off the bottom. Just the way I gave you guys Humana a couple of weeks ago at $2-3 went to 10. Some of you did it, some of you didn't. Who cares? Big move and still going higher. This chart I like. I love things which are unloved and coming off the bottom. Not that everyone loves. 115. We got in around 120, 123. 130 right now. I'm looking at 135, 142. Cheap calls. $2 goes to 6, 7. Love it. Love it. This is the type of stocks you want to look at. Look at that bullish candle move. That's called the two marching soldiers. Right there. Somebody said, oh, I can swing trade. I'm working all day. Well, friggin' buy a couple of these 2 weeks out and just leave it there. Stick to the charts. What's going to happen? Botox is going to go away. The stock's coming off the bottom. These are guys who make Botox. They're going to sell a couple of their assets. They have different divisions. Still love Humana. Look at that. Great chart. So much upside. Giving you the broader picture. Lots of upside. Let's look at United Health. These are multiple swing trade winners. Don't always have to look at Netflix. Look at this. This has been a beautiful trade all the way from here, here, here. It's going to go to 260. What's going to happen? Health insurance going to die? You have to pay your health insurance? Okay, fine, great. You don't live in America. Anthem, another one. Anthem Health. Oh, this one's been a solid winner. I still have a couple of calls left. We called it here at 240. We called it here at 260, 290. Where do you think the thing's going? It's going to 300. These are the ones are almost no-brainers. You just have to buy them 2 weeks out, a month out. I'm sorry, they're mostly monthly calls. Buy them a month out, 2 months out, and just leave it in there. What does Anthem have to do with China? Will the stock go back to 220? I have no freaking clue. All I know, we've been long all this way. When I show these charts, print them, screenshot them, put them away. You don't have to rely on me all the time. I can't update every single stock that I'm recommending. Honestly, I can't do that. And then just follow the trade. You guys have a platform. You're not sitting in Timbuktu and you have no chart to look at. You have your own platforms. Do it. Take responsibility for what you're doing. Another stock that I like. These are those small cap things. Look at this baby. Halozyme, diabetic company. These are the weekly charts I keep on showing. This stock, all of a sudden, is going to pop down up to 18.20. Your call that you bought at 30 cents, 40 cents are going to be $2. So many of them out there. Sarepta, which I think is going to get bought. Look at this. This baby is going to 155. We give you guys a call. The 150 and the 180s at like $2. The 150s are at 525. That's more than a double. And the 80 calls I told you guys to buy it, they were at 40 cents. They are almost at $1. That's 100%. This baby is probably going to get bought. We've had 3 buyouts in 2 years of biotech stocks that are recommended, including the biggest one that was Juno Therapeutics. So you buy a couple of these, put them away. Put them away. Stop day trading these guys. If it gets bought, I showed you the chart earlier on the weekly, it's going to get bought at literally $200 because they always give a 40 to 50% discount to these hardcore cancer therapy companies. Let's take a look at what's the other one that I like? Ulta Beauty. I'm sure some of you use Ulta. Ulta is like a nut. This thing is going to break this ascending triangle, whatever you call it, right? You call it a V-shaped move. The stock's literally going to go to $400. I know it's going to. Not because of Kylie Jenner or whatever her name is, but the business is going nuts. Look at the candles. Let me take all the lines away. Remove clear drawing set. Look at this chart. By now, you guys should know. Boom. One breakout, second breakout. You don't need me for this. That's why I teach people in the advanced coaching session. You don't need me. I want to teach you how to read this stuff and stick with it. My biggest problem is that I sell too early. Because I have larger positions and I sell too early. Because everyone has a goal how much they want to make during the day. That is the worst habit in a way. Because you say, you make that during the day, let me get out. And then you leave all that big money on the table. But I still stick to the swing charts on a bunch of things. Look, I'm not perfect. And you guys are far less than perfect. I'm just trying to tell you that if you're not perfect, we always have chance for improvement. This baby is going to 360, 380. I mean, 360 is already there. We gave you the calls today at 1. They went to 235. I did. Look at the Twitter feed. That's 135% on your money. Depending on how much money you put in, you're looking beautiful. Any other questions? Because I'm going to wrap up. Jill, Jody, Kate, Mike Murphy. Any questions?
You want to look at Alibaba?
Yes, if he cuts the deal, Alibaba is going to go nuts. Alibaba, I play sometimes, as you know. That's a damn good question. It's a very good looking chart. Let me get all the lines out of here. Stay with me for 1 second. Hold on 1 second. I go to the men's room. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Mike, you there? Test, test. Anyone
Yes,
there?
yes,
Okay, sounds good, sir. So I had this chart drawn from a while ago. Let me just clean it up a little bit. I'm going to show you the bigger picture on Alibaba, and then we're going to go from there. So this is a weekly picture on Alibaba. So it doesn't have to do with what happened during the day. This is the picture that happens, what happens with the China deal. Okay? So what's happening with Alibaba is if the China deal doesn't happen, Alibaba is going to collapse, literally collapse to $133. And that is depending on the Xi-Trump meeting next week. China deal does work out, which I believe that it will. Otherwise, they haven't broadcasted too much. The stock literally will go all the way up to 190. In fact, I'm happy you mentioned it to me because I haven't been looking at it lately, even though I trade it here and there. Because honestly speaking, if I draw the lines on this baby, this is how we would do it. Because Alibaba's business is flourishing regardless of the United States and the tariffs and stuff. Because they don't sell to us. I've never been on an Alibaba site. Have you? Have you, Mike? Anyone been on an Alibaba site? Test, test. Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, I've been on it only because my wife is in retail. But
Okay, so you're more specialized. Specialized people go there. She's with Stitch Fix, right?
correct.
Yep, excellent, excellent stock. And stock's doing well. Yeah, so I have never been there. When I need something, what's the first place I go to? Amazon. Amazon sucks more of my money than anyone else, and they give me the best deals in the world. So Alibaba is not something that I look at. Specialized industrial people, outsourcing, all that stuff, they look at Alibaba. Right, House?
Yep.
Exactly. So saying all that, I'm just constructing right in front of you the chart. And by the way, I have one more chart to look at before we leave tonight. This should be white because, or green, it's an uptrend. Okay. Then the downtrend line here And this is what we call a falling wedge. Wow, that's a beauty. Mike, thanks for reminding me of this baby. I'll jump on it first thing tomorrow. Let's see. So many stocks working out so good. You know, Shopify, holy cow. If I had that thing, I'd be freaking just wouldn't even talking to you guys. Seriously, that thing is like going nuts. I was seeing it going nuts and I stopped myself. $3 calls went to 17 house. Shopify. But they had an investors conference and the news comes out after that. I don't trade on the news. I'm just like, what the heck's going on? Okay, so first stop on this is 174. That's a 20-week moving average. We are at the 20-week, 50-week moving average right now. This is actually a good-looking chart, all dependent on the China deal. This is looking good, telling us that the deal is going to happen. So this is actually a good risk-reward ratio, because if things work out, this thing is going to move up just the way I showed you guys on Sunday on the weekly S&P crossover. And look what happened. You guys got 200% plus on those SPY calls. So this is, if this crosses over, this baby is going to cross 174. And if the China deal happens, it's going to hit 190. So this is actually a high risk, not high risk. It's a high reward, low risk trade, given the technical. China deal doesn't happen, then shit's just going to hit the fan. We're going to hit down to 152. So you can buy some, if you want to be aggressive, you want to buy, I'll put this out tomorrow. You want to buy the 170, 175 calls going out a month, going into July 5th. Remember, we don't ever crash before July 4th weekend. That's my theory, which has worked out perfectly. And you want to put a stop loss maybe 2 or 3 points below where you bought it. Mike, are you there?
Yes.
What I said made some sense to you? We buy the 175 calls going into July 5th. We put a trailing stop on that, a little bit less than 70% below where we bought it. Fair enough?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put the alerts out there tomorrow. We'll go from there. But this is bullish. This reversals is bullish of the 150-day moving average. This is the 20-week moving average. I'm sorry, 150-week moving average. The 20-week moving average is 174. And the downtrend line all the way from the highs where the stock was at that time, we traded this quite a few times, House remembers that, is 175. This is looking good. And if this crosses over, that means the China deal is done. So that's a great one. Anyone else? Kate? Kate, do you have any stocks you want me to look at? Jill, are you looking at any stocks?
Yeah, can you look up AMD?
Yes, AMD has been a sporadic. I should have been more diligent on this. Big time options winner. AMD stock is very, very dependent on the China deal. AMD is almost, this is a daily chart. What I like about AMD, and this is one thing I'm going to teach you because your free session is coming up in the next 2 days, is we are reaching very oversold conditions on what we call the stochastics, which is the internal blood pressure of the market, of the stock. AMD is basically on the external side, very dependent. One little move here. These arrows and stuff, by the way, are not generated by me. They're generated by Thinkorswim. Don't take it wrong way. I construct my charts my way. AMD is still not in that zone where you can have a confirmed trade, but the options are cheap. If the China deal works out, AMD is literally going to jump up to what's 33, and that means you're going to get 200% on your money. So AMD's in good shape. We know what the downside is. What we don't see yet on the daily is a confirmation, and we rely on this a lot. It's very simple to know. It's a complete bottoming like this, where you can have almost a confirmed buy where you're not going to lose money. So we haven't gotten that yet. So the chip sector in general is still in what we call in a state of flux. And the China, partly the China deal is important, but this is looking good. And if you want to be aggressive, you can always buy some here. You know the stock doesn't, as long as it doesn't break below 28.41, you can still keep on buying. One of the big things we do in closed say trading, which works out great for us, is we scale in. What does that mean? In simple English, it means we buy something at $2. We'll buy again at $1.50, maybe $1. It's called dollar cost averaging, as long as the charts are telling us that it is still going to go higher. So even if it moves down here, let's say you bought some here today, you could, even if it moves down to 28.41, instead of getting all freaked out like the rest of the world on prices, we know it's still holding the uptrend, and you can see a substantial move from here. Very good question, Joe. Anyone else? Okay. I'm going to sign off. Guys, thanks for attending. You guys make my day. Listen, we're in this boat together. And I fight as much as all of you do. Yes, in the real world, you guys are a lot smarter than me. In the world of the markets and trading, I'm a lot smarter than you guys. So on that note, trade management is the key. Volatility is something we have to embrace. I hate volatility. Listen to my old video. I hate volatility. It's completely manipulated by the big firms to get commissions out of us. Period. That's just the way it is. All right? But at the same time, I hate tweets that come out at 6 in the morning. But in general, I think the administration does want to cut a major deal, just the way they did with Mexico. But all these games that they play doesn't make our lives any simpler. We live in America, united, we love each other, keep the politics aside, and let's make some money. God bless you all.
This conference will now be recorded.